Come in. Well, 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 look who's here. I haven't seen you in many a year. If I knew you were coming, I'd have baked a cake, baked a cake, baked a cake. If I knew you were coming, I'd have baked a cake. How'd you do, how'd you do, how'd you do? Had you dropped me a letter, I'd have hired a band.
Okay, it's been at least 8 hours. Now we're going to put our stuff together. Okay, I've got the largest one at the bottom, of course. I'm going to put on my edible glue. Doesn't have to be real thick. Just make sure you get enough of it on there. Then I'm going to get my next largest one. Put it in the middle. Be careful you don't break it. And then put on some more edible glue. Make sure it fits in there. Sometimes you got to kind of play with them. And that one fits in there just fine. And then we're going to put on a tiny little layer. I think I only made 3 layers with you, but you'll have the 3 smaller ones. A tiny little layer. There we go. And now we're going to make another layer before we call it done. Okay, now we're going to make a center, a nice frilly center. You're going to use a circle cutter a little bit smaller than your smallest cutter you used yesterday. And I'm just speeding through this because you know how to do this already. This is a circle, it's not a normal flower cutter. Okay, here where it gets a little bit tricky to explain, where you're going to pick it up. You want to kind of cup it together and find something small to put it on, even the end of a pen, a paintbrush. You want to kind of squish it like maybe the middle of a carnation. And see, I've got that little point on the underside, and I'm actually going to cut that point off. I don't need it. And there we go. Now I'm going to take this and I'm going to put it into the middle of my flower. Okay, I'm doing some little last minute adjustments that I want to do, and it looks really nice. Now this is what it looks like, kind of like a carnation, but obviously it's not. Just a pretty little flower to impress your friends, influence enemies, you know, there you go. Now I'm going to show you how to do this same thing if you don't have a rose cutter. You can do this with circles and hearts. Let's get started. Now you're going to roll this out as usual, and I'm actually leaving this a little thick on purpose. As you can see, it's probably a little bit thicker than a dime, okay? So go ahead and get it rolled out, and it should be good right about now. And then let's go ahead and grab one of our circle cutters. Now mine has some little rigid edges on them. That's just because it's actually a biscuit cutter. I got this from a regular cooking store. I don't have one. I just have that little one that has the regular, you know, soft edges on it. You can use it with those ridges or not. So you're going to go around, soften the edges, use your toothpick or your stipple pen, soften the edges, get them ready for your flower former, and you're ready to go. And that's how you do it with the circles. Make as many layers as you want. And if you don't have the cup formers, like I said, the flower formers, make them out of tin foil. You know, you've got the means to do this. It doesn't have to be expensive to have this fun, okay? Okay, and now we're going to try it with the heart cutter. And in fact, I'm going to do it with fewer tools to show you don't even need that ball tool. Just going to take and look, let's see what it looks like with paintbrush stem, or how there's the toothpick again, so you can see the difference between the two. And I'm going to cut off the bottom, and we're putting it into the mini muffin pan. Let's make another one, and there we're softening it up, doing the toothpick. Looks pretty good. There we go. And we're going to cut the bottom off because you don't want it to be too thick inside of that. And there we go. Look at that. We have another type of flower starting. So as you can see, there's no limit to these fantasy flowers. Okay, you can just, you know, wing it. Look, there I put one of those inside of there. That was the round one that we just got done making. And let's squish it up and see what happens then. And then let's see what happens if we put some stamens in it. Remember, you always do stamens in odd numbers, 3, 5, 7, never 4, never 6. Just everything looks better with odd numbers. So we're putting some stamens in it, and let's see how it looks when it's done. There we go. You know, it's not so great, but I'm doing this really quick on the fly. I did not pre-plan that, so but you get the idea. And look what happens. If you don't like it, this is what you do. You open it up, you pull your stamens out, you start all over. It's not the end of the world. Okay, so have fun. Just have some fun with it. Thanks a lot. See you on the next video.
Goodness sake, if I knew you were coming, I'd bake the cake. How'd you do, how'd you do, how'd you do? How'd you do, how'd you do, how'd you do? How'd you do?